All right, today we're going to move beyond just simple productivity hacks. Drawing on S.J. Scott's 23 anti-procrastination habits, we are going to architect a complete personal operating system. Think of it as a framework designed to fundamentally upgrade how you execute, how you lead, and how you perform. So let's start by flipping the entire problem on its head. We almost always treat procrastination like it's some kind of character flaw, right? But what if that's just the wrong diagnosis? What if the real issue isn't a lack of willpower, but actually a failure in your personal operating system? The core idea in the book is that procrastination really isn't a personal failing. It's just a series of flawed habits. And all those common excuses, you know the ones, I don't have time, I'll get to it later, they're not excuses. They are error messages. They're signals telling you exactly where your system has a bug that needs to be fixed. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build a powerful 3-part operating system to debug those errors and upgrade your personal productivity. We'll install what we'll call a strategy filter, build an execution engine, and then maintain the whole thing with a mindset OS. Okay, first up, the strategy filter. Look, every effective system has to start with a good filter. Your productivity is only as good as the tasks you decide to work on. So this filter is designed to do just one thing. Make sure your finite energy is pointed only at the objectives that deliver the absolute maximum strategic impact. And at the very core of this filter is a ratio that is just fundamental to strategic thinking. You've probably heard of it. It's the Pareto principle, better known as the 80-20 rule. This rule illustrates a universal truth, and it's this. Most of what you achieve, your biggest wins, they come from a very small, critical number of high-impact tasks. Everything else? Well, a lot of the time it's just noise that eats up your time without delivering real value. So here's the bottom line. Your time is your most valuable capital. To maximize the return on that investment, you have to identify your vital 20% of activities and then ruthlessly eliminate, delegate, or just minimize everything else. So how do you actually find that critical 20%? Well, the SMART framework is the perfect tool for the job. It's not just about setting goals, it's about making sure every single action you take is directly aligned with a specific, measurable, and relevant strategic objective. This is how you translate that big picture vision into day-to-day execution. All right, on to the second component. A great strategy doesn't mean much without a powerful execution engine, right? This is the part of your system that actually translates your plans into real, tangible results. And a core habit for this engine is something called time blocking. So instead of reacting to a to-do list all day, you proactively command your calendar. You give every minute a job. You create these dedicated pockets of time for 100% focus on one single task, and you shut out all the distractions. And a fantastic tool for time blocking is the Pomodoro technique. The idea is so simple. You work in these focused, uninterrupted sprints. This structure creates a sense of urgency, it forces you to single task, and it builds momentum. And those scheduled breaks, they're crucial for preventing burnout. So your execution engine runs on what the author calls single handling, which is the total opposite of multitasking. And the science on this is really clear. Multitasking just splits your attention, it tanks your performance, and it creates these mental open loops that just drain your energy. Single handling, on the other hand, ensures you actually complete what you start. And this quote just nails it. Focus isn't just a productivity tactic. It is an energy conservation strategy. Think about it. Every unfinished task is an open loop that's taking up mental bandwidth. So, when you complete what you start, you free up that mental RAM, and that lets you put your full cognitive power toward your next priority. Okay, finally, even the best system needs a robust operating system, an OS. This is the mindset, the maintenance routines that are all designed to sustain peak performance, prevent system crashes, and really drive continuous improvement. A key component, maybe the key component of this OS, is the weekly review. This is your scheduled diagnostic check. It's when you process all the new inputs, you schedule your next week with a realistic eye on your time, and you make sure your top priority projects get the attention they deserve. It's the one habit that keeps your system from getting overwhelmed and crashing. And that leads us to a classic principle from Peter Drucker that underpins the second part of our Mindset OS, performance tracking. Because without data, you are managing by assumption. You simply cannot optimize what you do not measure. Now, tracking isn't about creating more bureaucracy. It's about fuel. First, it creates what's called a streak habit, which gives you this powerful motivation as you see your progress chain grow. And second, it gives you the hard data you need to learn from your past performance and make smarter decisions down the road. So, we've designed our new operating system. The big question is, how do you actually install this powerful new software without causing a total system crash? Because let's be honest, trying to overhaul everything at once is a recipe for failure. The implementation strategy is beautifully simple. You start with just one new habit. Then you commit to that single habit for 30 days. That's it. Think of it as your installation window, a focused, manageable sprint to make that new behavior totally automatic. And this 30-day challenge approach is just brilliant because it makes systemic change feel manageable. Building elite habits, well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. This method ensures you build real momentum one small, successful step at a time, just stacking up those wins month after month. So, I'll leave you with a question to think about. Analyze your own personal operating system. Where is its single biggest bottleneck? What is the one upgrade, whether it's a filter, an execution tool, or a mindset habit, that if you installed it over the next 30 days would give you the greatest leap in your performance? Identify that upgrade and then begin your installation.